take every minute of every day and put 100% effort into it while staying humble and trying to help everyone else.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Sessions, a video podcast brought to you by Pro Studio, where we discuss an entrepreneur's business life and while we edit some social media as well. So, hi guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Sessions. Today I'm joined by Garbers, the one and only signed Redbull athlete in Namibia. Yeah, Eric, I'm so happy to have you finally on Sessions. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Welcome, Eric. Can you tell us, how's it going today?
Well, it's going really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric, man, we want to get right into the show and ask you 10-15 minute bio. Explain to us, where do you come from? Where did you grow up? What is it that you do on a full-time basis? Give us your story in a nutshell.
Okay, so I'm born and raised in Namibia, from Windhoek. Been living here my whole life. I used to ride motocross from the age of 4 till 13 and traveled internationally also with it. And then after that, I went into BMXing. And then BMXing started off with just being a fun thing to do with friends and just enjoying it. And then...
Was it like in the backyard? In your,
yeah, it was
in your hood.
Yeah, it was...
Cycling with your buddies,
in
BMXing.
your hood.
It was
in the hood.
In front of the house, building a few dirt jumps, and then the whole neighborhood basically getting together and just straight on sending it with your buddies.
What age were you there, roughly? Is it also like age of 10 and going up?
Yeah, when it was motocross days, we were about 8 years old when we started building these smaller jumps, and then up until when we were 15, it obviously got a lot bigger. And then I got into street riding,
Yes, that's impressive. I don't think my parents even wanted to buy me those plastic 3-wheel trikes you can get.
Yaku.
So awesome.
Yeah. You were the one be hiding in the library reading. It's like, yeah, leave Yaku there. That's fine.
I'm a nerd.
I think so. I don't know. No, but you
true.
have some crazy good other skills. Yeah. Tell me a bit more. How did, once you got more into that cycling thing, right? And you started out with your buddies, was it always the thing that you wanted to get further in life with BMXing, or was it just like a hobby and you like just enjoy riding because it's that and period?
Okay, so obviously from my background, I like competition and I love a challenge. So whenever there's someone that betters you, the challenge is there to beat him and to get better with the sport and try to push new tricks and new levels even further. So for me, it was doing that, but the fun concept was the major deal. I mean, I want to do it to have fun and enjoy it, not being like a thing that you just have to do it, you know? Yeah. So you're actually looking forward to do it the whole time. That was the main...
Was it also like your hobby, so to say, after
basically.
school, and you did that?
Yeah, it's like basically you just go to school and then BMX and almost don't get to homework. And
Did you do anything else than just BMXing? Did you maybe have another sport, or was it just, I just like purely live BMXing?
My parents tried to get me into cricket and...
Cricket? Oh,
yeah,
yes, okay.
Cricket, road cycling and mountain biking.
And rugby, mostly I'll push this.
No, I immediately said no to rugby. Cricket lasted for about a year because it was boring for me. And then road cycling also didn't last too long. Mountain bike, I rode quite a bit because it still seemed to be entertaining, but didn't have that wow factor. And then obviously after that, BMXing.
And then motocross as well, right? Was that also, was that early ages now?
Early ages.
Yeah.
Like early ages, motocross was from 4 to 13 years.
Yeah.
And that was like basically only motocross. You live motocross.
Oh, yes. And tell me, was it your dad who was pushing you, or was it more you who wanting to do this, who's interested in motorsport, or was it more like your dad and mom supporting you?
Okay, so when it was motocross, it happened with Mike Swanepoel that used to own KTM, Namibia. He was dating my older sister at that time. And he bought me a small Pee-wee bike to start with. And then obviously, as a young kid, you want to ride.
Yes, 100%.
And then it was always fun to ride, but later on it gets more into this thing where finances isn't too good, so you need to optimize every minute of every day and push it. So later on, you're not that keen of like riding. Actually, you're just doing it because you have to. So the fun fact.
Yeah, it disappeared maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But BMXing probably came around.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And tell me, after BMXing, did you then go study? Did you give us a bit of your story after school? Obviously, you now must probably be pushed into let's go university. How did you?
So once I finished with school, I took a gap year because I wasn't sure what to do. I wanted to do something technical because my dad's an architect and my mom's a town planner, but neither of the two jobs I enjoyed too much because it was too office bound. I prefer doing things with my hands and the outside and stuff like that. So I got into surveying, and after the gap year, I decided to go study surveying, and I'm still busy studying with it. Yeah.
Okay. Are you still busy with it? Okay.
Bachelor's degree.
How long to go still?
Basically, yeah.
Huh? Nice. Okay.
And then tell me, by the side, you still BMX, and that's when you somehow got signed from Red Bull at some point. But give me that story a bit more. How did you actually get to that big brand like Red Bull signs someone like you?
Every kid probably has this dream of when you grow up and you're getting into BMXing and you're looking up to all these pros in the world. You always wish to have a sponsor and being able to
do this full
get
time
the support.
And fund it and support. Yes.
Exactly. So the dream was there. I wasn't sure if I would be able to achieve it because we live in Namibia and the opportunity isn't always available. That's why I still just did it for the fun of it. And whatever came along would have obviously helped me a lot. So yeah, when Red Bull approached me, I was super keen. And then that initial idea would have been to finish school and then just go ride bikes. But it didn't happen back then. It came along in my second year of studying. And then when Red Bull approached, I was like, yo, should I still continue studying?
Yeah, that's what I'm actually
So
actually what I ask now as well is would you then consider now stop studying, go BMXing full out, or are you still playing the safe route and say, nah, let me finish my studies and I'm going to also ride, and then after?
For me, it's always important in life to have a plan B, especially in today's life standards. So because anything can happen at any point in time. So that's why I don't want to stop studying immediately. I'd rather finish my studies and then travel afterwards and full on go into BMXing. So yeah, that's why I just time manage way more and basically ride a lot through the day and study a lot through the night. Yeah. Don't sleep.
Okay. And tell me, how did it come about with then Red Bull signing you? Was it first that they tested you, checked you out, spied a bit, how good you riding? Was there a competition that you could win? Or tell us a bit about the process of would you have a chance to even become a signed Red Bull athlete?
Okay, so the first thing that happened was Brian Kappa came in for a windhoek show and he was performing. And Nadia at the time came through to the skate park and they just wanted us as a bit of entertainment while Brian chills a bit. So I was keen because it's more opportunities to ride. And that was the first year of doing something. And then we didn't hear from them again. And then a few years later, Senat came for the first time. And he came to the park and I was blazing with inspiration, this guy is here and he's a BMXer for once.
Who's Senat and who's the other guy? Is that also a professional BMX guy?
Brian Kappa is a trial bike rider, motorbike.
Yeah.
And Senat Grozik is the Austrian Red Bull athlete for BMX.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you also kind of looked up to them. Your model.
I've been looking at Senat for quite a while.
Meeting your heroes.
Yeah, it's like getting starstruck with how people feel when they see some celebrities. That was me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. And then I got the opportunity to ride a bit with Senat and we got to know each other. And I think from there, they kind of saw the level I'm at and the way I'm pushing, because they'll leave me with a few challenges and then obviously I'm on those challenges and achieve them quite quickly. And I think through that, they kind of saw what my potential was and then they approached me later on.
Okay. And then maybe you also talked to Red Bull and said, let's push you in life. Would you say when you're now done with your studies, do you see there's an opportunity that you actually then say you've got the studies in the bag, you've got your profession done, you learned your thing, and you're now heading off to South Africa or Europe and riding full time, for events or something? Oh, trying at least.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think there is that opportunity.
And you're also willing to do that, right?
Yes.
So that's your plan, I guess.
Yeah.
Finish studies, let's
And
go
then
ride.
out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then one day if you're a big celebrity, please come and sign one of our
Yeah, no, definitely.
pictures here that we can say, wow, this guy was actually a Namibian.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I jump in?
Ja, je moet net vat, joh.
Ek moet vat.
Je
Okay.
moet net gooien.
Okay, you actually went from doing motocross to being a BMXer. That is quite a transition. What inspired you to become a full-time BMXer? Or let's put it this way. What inspired you from getting on a bike with an engine to becoming the engine?
Okay, so motocross, the thing I enjoyed about it was the adrenaline. It's continuous big adrenaline. And once we didn't have the finances to continue with the sport, what's the next best thing? And I always admired X Games and looked into it and liked the tricks of it. So it was the next best thing to try. And then I fell in love with it. So that's where the transition kind of came in, the adrenaline.
Awesome stuff. And now you're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do? Okay, most people would actually get on a bike for some extra activities. What do you do for extra activities?
Yeah, for extra activities, I like to build
Studying.
stuff. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, but I also studying, of course, but I also like to build things with my hands. So whether it's like something small, parts on the bike or whatever, help around with shops and fix a few things or so on.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing
I
that.
mean, I do follow your Instagram quite actively, and I see that you are giving quite a lot back to the community. You don't have
Yeah.
parks, so then you go out there and say, let's get cash and let's build a park, because I'm sick of
Yeah,
just
yeah.
riding the pavement. So
Definitely.
talk a little bit about that, also the hustle of how do you
Okay.
establish bike parks in this country?
Yeah, so unfortunately this year, All Nations, our local skate park closed down. But we do have a separate park that's actually meant for the skateboarders that's in Khomasdal. But when we had All Nations, we would try to get a bit of finances through the parents and like a few of the friends, and then we'll cash it all together, and then we'll buy the wood. And then I'll have a plan in mind where we build this thing and we go full in. And then not everyone's always keen on building. So like 2 hours in, everyone's chilling and Eric's busy welding and building. But it was
I
fun.
have seen those videos.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. But at least you still go pull through, eh? And you
Yeah,
build
yeah.
the ramps, you finish it.
It's
Even with
important,
team,
yes.
without, whatever, you guys do the park.
Yeah.
And then you see a difference coming through that you basically, sorry for that you basically see a difference with you'd establish the park and then
Yes, you
now
do.
you're getting more riders in, or the community grows.
Yeah, you'll definitely get a few younger riders that approach you, and that's very critical. When that first few times when they come to the park, it's important to introduce them and just talk to them and make them feel welcome, because a lot of guys don't want to talk to them. They make them feel like they're in the way the whole time, and that's a big issue. So I always try to get the park running as smoothly as possible, so it's safe for everyone, especially the youngsters, and then to get them feeling as welcome as possible.
I think that also helps growing that BMX community, because otherwise you have these guys joining and then after the second session they disappeared again, so you also can't grow the sport, so to say.
It was also important for me not only to think about BMXing, but skateboarding and scootering and rollerbladers, everyone, to grow a big community so everyone can share
That's cool.
facilities. Yeah.
Because do you ever see like it's leading up to something like starting the first full-on competition in Namibia where you have BMX mixed with skating and scootering?
Kind of like our
Yeah,
own
that-
X
Like a
Games.
little X Games, windhoek X Games kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be a cool goal to work to, but I think it is doable. It's just at the moment with not having a park,
Yeah.
like everyone kind of disappeared and faded. So you'll find like a few of the riders like here and there through town and then link up again.
Yeah.
But we're working on it to sort that out now.
But there's not a dedicated park. Sorry. There's not
The-
a dedicated park right now, right?
You mean like the one in Khomasdal? It's okay. It's more meant for like really entry level riders. So all the way more experienced riders don't want to go there because there's a lot of youngsters. Because it's in Moderson school, so it's a school for people that has hearing impaired. So yeah, the communication is also an issue sometimes.
Put a lot of signs up.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
there again. It's important for me to also push through and go to the park and interact with the youngsters, because they look up to you and they learn from you again. Where some of the other older dudes just want to go and have their session and go, so they don't pull through to that anymore. Yeah.
I take it besides like not having a dedicated park, there's some other issues or problems that you face. Can you maybe elaborate a bit more?
Yeah, like, so what we do now is we ride in the streets, obviously, because that's the next best thing. So yeah, we get a lot of issues with securities and police and people that assume you damaged their property even before you arrived at their property. But yeah, it's like smaller issues like that. And then we also have issues with bike parts and stuff like that, because there's not as much riders anymore. So bike shops don't want to really bring in as much parts anymore. And that causes issues here.
It's interesting, yeah. And then you have to order it from the States, Europe.
Yeah, normally
How do you
UK.
get your parts? Or South Africa?
So we have 2 online websites that's like worth shopping from, which is Chain Reaction Cycles. They ship to Namibia. But they're more into mountain biking and road cycling, so they'll have a bit of BMX stock, but not too much. And then Source BMX is the other major one, but they don't ship to Namibia.
Jeez.
So,
always.
Yeah.
so it's like a big process. Yes. You always have to set it up, and then it needs to arrive at some friend, and then eventually you might get your parts when either you visit them or they visit you. So it's a big process.
Tell me, did it change your life at all after you've gotten signed with Red Bull? Like, talk a little bit about that. Before you were just a BMXer and then you got signed from Red Bull.
Yeah.
How did that change your life at all with anything, from media to you getting new opportunities?
Traveling
like
a bit.
Yes,
going
I
to
would
other
say
competitions.
a lot. Yeah, actually. It gave me a lot of opportunities, like from the start. And it kind of changed my mindset a bit. Not to just focus on myself and my own growing, but to try and get the community to grow with me. Not leaving anyone behind. Like, you want to push everyone, because now that goal is achievable. No one believed it could be achievable, and now that goal is there, so it is doable. So people tend to want to also push now. So yeah, it was.
Did you get any opportunities, like in terms of also to make some finances for you, to maybe fund your studies or something like that regard, that you say, okay, I'm now BMXing with the name Red Bull on me and we're going for it, and you now maybe had some TV interviews or you got some radio shows or
I've been in
anything in that where you actually also make some money out of it?
Not really. Like, it's mostly people would approach me and ask me, can you do this or that? And then it's something small, so I don't want to ask them for
or
too
even
much
like
money.
a workshop, you know, because you are seen as this guy who has made it a bit. I mean, there's still room to grow, right?
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
still far, and I think once you leave Namibia with Red Bull and you go further to Europe, you will be the one that I look up to one day. Say, damn, he's from Nam and he made it. Is there anything where like youngsters book you for a workshop or say, hey, Eric, come teach me, I believe in you? Did that?
Yeah, there's a lot of youngsters that obviously ask me, yeah, Eric, can you come through and help me with this and that? But it's like, for me, more community building, so I won't ask them for money. 100%. I'll rather just try to get I'll tell them, get a friend or 2 extra, so it's like more worth it.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's humble of you, man. You're not that money hungry. You actually do it to build the community.
Definitely.
And I think Red Bull also sees that in you. You're not a money hungry guy. You do it to grow the community, and they support you in that way.
A lot of passion behind it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the workshops I'm kind of doing with the BMX racing now. So it's a lot of youngsters that's reaching into this new discipline of BMXing that we started at Farm Windhoek. And from my background of racing and a bit of BMXing freestyling, I could like kind of combine the two and help them out again and teaching them different routes of BMXing. So yeah, but I also don't get paid for that.
Yeah,
it's just like
no.
I want to do it to help them.
Getting back to sponsorship.
Yeah.
Before Red Bull, was there anybody else that sponsored?
No, I've tried bike sponsorships, like a bike shop, just to get parts a bit cheaper. So the only thing they could always do me, or help me with is they'll give me discounts to a certain percentage, and then that already helped a lot because parts are expensive.
Do you have them still, or are you just solely on Redbull? I mean, a lot of shops also closed down. So
yeah, like Cycle Sales used to be that shop. And they closed down, and then kind of my focus went from Cycle Sales to Money's Bike Maker. And they do help me a lot still. They like give me that discounts, and I also go in and help the guys a bit, like whenever. It's nice to chill and work a bit on the bikes and interact.
And tell me, you obviously becoming now a little bit of an influencer as well in that kind of athlete group and through Red Bull. So do you see that your social media is kind of helping you with getting your name out there even more? Are you using it in a kind of business sense already?
Yeah, I switched from like having a normal Insta page to the business page to see the interactions and like to push a bit. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, definitely. You get a lot of people that would DM you and ask you questions and like want to interact with different projects and ideas and so on.
So not just riders, also people like
general
we,
public
with sessions that we approach you and say, hey, you keen to come on sessions, kind of like that, right? That you may be part of a certain event.
Exactly.
Maybe it's a fundraiser for something else, and we would like to have this dude in the background jumping, doing some stunts, but it's not necessarily a BMX event. So that kind of happens more and more to you.
Yeah, it's exactly like the one advert we basically did for Elisenheim was to show the safety of Elisenheim, and then they also approached me like from a way different side, and that was quite cool. Yeah.
So that was mostly your first paying gig then as well.
Yeah, it wasn't too big. It was something small, which I also actually just wanted to do for free. But yeah, it was cool.
Tell me, once you got that pay, where did you put that? Was it like straight
Pots.
into the bar?
Pots.
Bike pots. Nice. I like it. Okay, so you put it back into your own hustle there again. Yeah.
You said it's mostly Instagram that you use.
Yeah, like my main focus is Instagram because a lot of more BMXers interact with Instagram than Facebook. So I find it more general public that will be on Facebook itself. So I'll push both of them, but my main focus is on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, the interaction is more fluid that way.
Do you also feel that there's a younger audience on social media, on Instagram, than Facebook?
I think so,
what hits your best stats? If you post the same video on Facebook or Insta?
From the age groups, Instagram.
Yeah? So you get way more attraction or attention on Instagram and more engagement,
if you check the age groups, it's definitely Instagram.
Okay, and in general, just getting engagement if you post the same video, not speaking now age groups, just like where do you get more likes or more hits?
Instagram.
As well?
Yeah.
Damn, okay. Instagram is here, people, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you use Pay Today at all?
Not at all.
On a private capacity? Not once? Not when you go to Money's Bike Maker and say, hey, Manny,
no, I haven't started
pay you
with
today.
I haven't started with it yet.
Yeah.
But keen on getting into it.
Okay. Should give it a try. It's a very cool app. Very convenient as well.
Will do.
Yeah.
Okay. We asked this to everybody in any case. What are your thoughts on e-commerce? But apply it to what it is that you do. You know, your bikes and your just your parts and so on. Would it actually make a difference for you if you could actually log into one of our bike shops here and buy parts?
Yeah, if our bike shops are able to supply the parts we want, it would definitely help a lot because you don't always have the time to quickly drive to the shop itself and then book out this and book out that and buy this and that. Be helpful if you can just arrive at home, get your parts and build it up quickly and go ride.
So, for instance, if Money's Bike Maker had an e-commerce store,
definitely,
you would make use of that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you also just ride to the shop and say and have that vibe, drink a coffee with Manny and maybe talk a bit about cycling and? Yeah,
because they're so busy, there's a lot of people always. So you get this idea of everything is rushed. They quickly need to help you, that and that and that. Yeah, the times where it's cool to chill is like weekends, maybe a late Saturday or so, and then you'll go over and just chill with the guys a bit.
Okay. But other than that, you would order online, obviously, if it's possible. I mean, you also already do it from the overseas, right? So
exactly.
If it's possible here, you would make use of it. That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I think you would do it. Tell me, how much do you interact with all your social media following, like your Instagram comments, your DMs, messages, and also comments in general on social media? Do you interact, or is it just like, nah, I'm celebrity now, screw that?
No, I never ever think I'm better than anyone. So whenever anyone comments on any of my posts, I would love to interact. Sometimes you don't always have the time for it, but late at night I'll go through all my...
You make time to get back to the comments. Yeah,
definitely. And then I'll reply them as best as possible and say thank you and thanks for the support.
It's humble of you, man. It's cool. Staying true to your followers. I mean, that is your community that supports you. So don't get ignorant. And please remember this when you are one day there in Austria jumping over the mountains.
A shining star.
Then stay humble, man. Stay the way you are.
Always.
Eric, any digital shit that you're currently into? Something that, you...
I maybe have a thought on that.
Okay, jump in, please. No, jump in.
E-bikes are here. Is that maybe something that you like? E-bikes on BMXing?
Yes, I don't know. It's a lot of weight. For us, it's weight, obviously. But not too sure.
Because the thing is, he's asking that because we go to the Gondwana lodges a lot. And for the tourists, they have these big-ass e-bikes.
Yeah, they're fun. Like, I've seen them at Money and, wanted to ride them a few times. But if it's say at the coast or something like that, I'll be definitely keen to have one and just stroll down the beach on the fat bike. That's electronic, so you don't need to paddle in the thick sand. Go a bit into the dunes. Yeah, I think it's quite cool.
But is there anything else digitally wise that you would say would improve your career?
Not too sure,
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe think about it. Maybe you'll phone me after in 1 week and say, I found it, I got it.
Yeah. Sure.
Tell me, what are you otherwise passionate about outside of the whole BMXing, outside of being an athlete, and outside also of being a DIY guy? Is there anything else that you're passionate about?
Taking care of other people, and also the project I just did, the Rhino Conservation Project, because I am into rhinos and I love them living still a few hundred years at least. So I'm really into that, and then helping out with conservation projects.
Elaborate a little bit about that. We have zero idea. We just saw you with some pigs.
Okay, so
cool pigs, by the way.
I came up with this idea of shooting a photo with a rhino for a Redbull Loom project. But I wanted to shine more light on this concept. So we wanted to get more behind the scenes with it and show how these animals are actually living and the struggles they're facing and all the poaching that's happening and the scale of it, which is hectic, seeing it in person. But it was a good project. And then the idea was to do a flare for rhinos. So I'll do this trick called flare, which is basically a backflip 180. And if you just say the word and not check the spelling, it's kind of that rescue of a flare for the rhinos.
Oh, okay.
So
nice. That makes sense completely.
Yeah, so that was.
And was it then that you jump next to them, over them?
The initial
I saw some very crazy pictures. So.
Yeah, the initial idea was to have this rhino as close as possible to me, which was scary. Really scary. And then me doing the trick and getting the two of us into this picture where we kind of look at each other, and me doing the flare for them.
While you're doing the flare, he's looking at you.
Yeah, and we basically got the photo I was really keen on, and I really enjoyed it.
Was it quite technical to execute, to get it done?
Yes, there was a lot of issues. First of all, it's a wild animal, and you need to respect them to the fullest. So once we got there, the surface itself, we had to clear the rocks a lot and get it rideable. And then the ramp itself is quite loud, like the metal at the bottom. So we took a bit of rhino poo and stuff it underneath to soften it a bit, that you don't really hear the slams. And then the interaction with the rhinos, because there's a lot of rhinos. And each rhino has a name, and you have to interact with them. So there's a few customers we had that was really curious and cool with us. And then I would always talk to them. The one I interacted with was Maria. And I'll rock up the morning and then I'll talk to Maria and start walking my path and tell Maria yo, it's cool, I'm here. I'm not going to hurt you. And then until we're cool. And then I start riding and doing my tricks, and then we go on with the day. Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I think it's commendable because a lot of people want to do things to help the community and conservation, but I respect you for taking care of our fat unicorns. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And for all who are interested, do have a look on your Instagram. There's a
please
ton
do.
of images about it and some cool stuff. Oh, by the way, it's also Sean van Eerden who shot it from
Yeah.
Creative Lab. We had him on sessions too, so go check him out. I
Really
actually have
cool
another
dude.
question. What is your biggest lesson that you've learned now from starting riding BMX to getting signed with Redbull to helping the community with the park and to doing all these projects that you're doing?
I would say it's always to stay humble. Like, never ever think you're better than anyone else, because like you can cut out so many people out of your life through doing that. And just interacting with every single person, no matter which level he is in life, that was like a lesson that was important to me.
That's
Very
pretty
cool. I can use
I
that
like
for the
that.
opener.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Who are you currently following? I mean, besides your role models,
Yeah.
your inspirations, other people that you see and like, I need to copy that trick, I need to do that one. Maybe I'm doing it so well, they can start following me.
Okay, so I have a few pros that I'm following, and then you also get, like, say, Nat Grozik, I follow him and his riding style, and then Garrett Reynolds and all of these top BMXs. And then you also find your own style kind of through of that. But it's always good to view each and everyone's videos and try to get the creativity aspect of it and how they combine certain tricks and so on. So like there's a lot of people I follow with that. But also the general public, like there's a few kids I ride with that also inspire me to try different things. So yeah.
Also to stay, how should you say this, stay on the ground and actually try again, or sometimes there's a basic trick that you maybe did at the beginning, but you completely left it away, you went further in life, and then you're like, hey, I remember to do this trick, and these kind of youngsters bring you back to the
Exactly.
to the
You'll
ground
get
again.
into like more technical stuff in a certain way, and then you only stick to that. And then some of the youngsters are learning all the basics now again, and then they're doing those tricks that you used to do, and you're like, yo, that's actually fun. And then you get into that again, and then you grow out like a tree, basically. You root out into these different tricks again and combinations.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's always good to follow like the top guys and also people that's not as good.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you follow online on Instagram, Facebook that
Conservation pages like Bahati Prinsloo. I follow her and everything she does. And yeah, like building stuff and so on.
DIY?
Yeah.
Poepkewits is one page.
And find my banana.
Yes.
It's good to know.
Always have a good laugh.
Do you have any new business ventures coming up? You opening your own DIY shop? Maybe
Clothing
you should.
line.
Yeah, clothing
Most
line.
BMXers, rappers,
Yeah.
and whatever.
Not
open,
yet though.
Shoes and all this stuff.
Everyone's pushing me that I should maybe start building my own brand of parts, like pegs wise and a few hub cards and stuff like that. So I'm considering it.
That would actually be a brilliant route to go. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have this. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it's a long talk, but I think you don't get these parts in Namibia, right? And do you custom make them then
Yeah,
here,
this
or
is
would you make them
custom
custom
from scratch.
I mean, you
like
make it
raw
custom
material.
for your bike and when you ride.
Yeah, and they work well. I put them through the test through my
Yeah,
beauty.
yes.
They last in.
Can you give us an idea, like what piece? Because I'm like very new to
Okay,
this.
so pegs is the pipes that come on the side of the bike, and we use them a lot for grinds. So you'll ride on different surfaces from wood, concrete to metal rails and so on. And what I'm busy doing is I use a aluminium core and then a special nylon outer sleeve that goes over this that's completely replaceable, so it's not that expensive. So you would buy the original peg and then you just replace the sleeving each time to reduce cost, basically. And the sleeving itself enables you to grind almost equally and easily on every surface without damaging the surfaces.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not the peg completely.
Yeah, the
grinding
peg
the
lasts
peg off,
way
yeah.
longer.
There you
Then-
go. First business model.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like it. That's some intense engineering. I think the most intense thing I ever did with my bike is putting that piece of cardboard on the back. So it sounds like a
Okay. I still have a question. Give us your holy shit moment. Whenever in your career did you come to a point where like, holy shit, this just happened. I got signed. I got this. I got that.
Yeah, see, so I think the biggest one was, it was totally unexpected. Like I had no idea this is going to happen. So I went into your guys' office and I was still talking to Nadia about like this insane events that's happening in Cape Town this weekend, and I wish I could be there. And then the next thing, you guys switched on the TV and the Senat was talking to me, and I was like, what? And he invited me to Cape Town. I'm like, yo, this sounds so cool, but yet unrealistic because I'm writing tests the next day. And then all of that was taken care of. So that was like a real what the hell.
And tell us what happened then.
Yeah, then I went to Cape Town and Senat just talked about having a shoot with him. And I got to see him actually take part in some of these events. And it was just amazing. It's like this event you always dream of seeing and also taking part in. And you got to see it like live, which was so crazy. And then at the end of our trip, we went to like the soccer stadium close by, and we sat down, and then Senat just talked to me with hard work pays off, and he pulls out a Red Bull helmet. I'm like, what are you doing now? And then when he pulled that out, I'm like really confused. What's going to happen now? And then he told me, yeah, welcome to the family. And I was like, mind blown. Like, what?
Yes. Yeah, then you realized you're actually being signed as a Red Bull athlete.
Yeah, like it took a few moments to sink in, but I was like, what?
I think just for the viewers also to elaborate a little bit, as I understand it, if a Red Bull athlete nobody just wears a Red Bull helmet, just like me and Yaku going out for rides, like, let's get our Red Bull helmet. No. Only signed Red Bull athletes wear a Red Bull helmet.
Yes. Only like a Red Bull athlete himself can wear Red Bull clothing, which only has a Red Bull brand on it. And it won't be like Red Bull King of Atu or Red Bull Braveman or
some collaboration or some event shirt. Yeah.
So it's the true Red Bull brand.
Yes. Okay, and that's purely just for the not artists. Yeah, well, artists as well, but for you athletes. Yeah. Actually, one question that I didn't ask earlier was, you were always fond of extreme sports, right? It's not that you did tennis or something. You like the rush. You like
I love the adrenaline.
Yeah. So that was since a kid already, or was it since the first day you got that PB?
I think it was since a kid. I couldn't sit still. I would jump off the roof or climb trees, and
your parents must have loved that.
No, my mom.
Actually, this is another question I have.
turned the grey quite early.
How many broken bones do you have?
Yes, okay. Well, as a kid riding motocross, I broke 4 bones in my foot. Fractured 1, and then later on in the motocross, close to when I was almost done, I fractured this weird bone here on the side, which I actually went into the doctor for something completely else, and I was like, yo, I fell yesterday, could you just check if my arm is okay? But I'm actually just here for my finger. And he's like, okay, cool, and you check, and he's like, no, we need to cast it. So that sucked a bit. But ligaments was the other issue. Ouch. I've torn a lot of ligaments in my life, especially ankles.
Okay. The single scariest thing. We have had your holy shit moment, but what was the single scariest thing over the last couple of years?
I thought it would have been the Rhino project, like interacting that close, because if they did decide to not be happy with me at any given moment, I was in the open. There was nothing to run to or hide to or duck under a bucky or something.
And those horns aren't just for show at the end, eh?
Yeah, no. They for their defense. But I would say it was the weekend shooting with Sean. We were on this mountain and he was looking for this perfect shot. So he checked me and said, dude, if you're not comfortable, then we leave it. It's just a photo. Like, chill it. And I was like, no, I'm keen. Let's do it. I want the rush. So it's cool. And basically I had to climb over this ridge where we were 3 people just trying to get my bike over. And then I stood on this small pathway that's, if you put your feet next to the bike, that's as wide as it is, and it's the length of your bike. So that's your margin of error.
Yeah.
And then it goes down on the sides. So if you just went a bit sideways or backwards, then
If
no
you
more
s-
error.
If you say down,
Goodbye, Eric.
Oh yeah, it's steep. But the photo, everyone will still see the photo. Yeah.
okay,
I
awesome.
think we can also put it here into the episode
Yeah,
so people can
definitely.
actually see. Or
That'd
go
be
check
cool.
out Eric's social media accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are going into the speed round. This is where we ask as many questions as humanly possible, and Eric, our guest, needs to answer them as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
If we fail, he will bunny hop all up and down our asses. Okay, so let's get right into it.
Yeah. Eric, what are you consuming on YouTube right now?
BMX pages.
All the time.
Yeah, and also when you get in car projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of those. And TJ Hunt, especially the engineering aspect of it with him building cars and like taking stuff apart and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
And DIYs, a lot of them.
DIYs.
Yeah.
For your shop you want to open one day.
Yeah. Learning new engineering ideas and what to do and what you can improve.
Mm-hmm. Tutorials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how much do you sleep
Yo.
on average?
I would love to sleep more, but it fluctuates between 5 and 6 hours.
Like how much do you grind? Like I know you have to study, then you're going to ride. What's your mix?
Okay, so when I'm studying, I'll wake up in the mornings early, go through the work from the previous day, and then go to school, classes, finish that, then just straight go into BMXing again. And then in the evenings, respond to all social media content and stuff like that, mails, whatever happens. And then I'll continue studying again till about 1-ish.
Excellent. Okay, on social media, do you follow friends, family, or business on social media?
Bit of everything, I would say. Yeah.
You don't keep it separate. Like just follow your business, your BMX guys that you're looking up to. 1 or 2 DIY dudes and
Exactly,
then a bit of
yeah.
business, maybe what are you actually in the field that you're actually studying in.
Yeah.
And then if your auntie posts something like, unfollow that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. That's your...
No, like family I follow and friends that just post random stuff of like them having a trip and seeing animals and
Yes.
they somewhere in Germany now. And
now-
then also BMX content.
And do you follow 9gag?
No,
Okay.
but I do check their page like every now and then.
Very cool, yeah.
Are you into Instagram stories? Doing them, following, or watching other
Yes.
stories?
I am. It is cool to see because it's like, I don't know, the thing that people always post is like kind of separate from what they'll story sometimes. So yeah, I do follow stories because you kind of learn a different aspect from people and how they interact.
Do you do Instagram stories yourself
Yeah,
also?
yeah.
Ever anything in terms of your DIY or is it just BMX stuff?
No, I'll post DIY stuff of me building stuff.
There you
Like-
have variety, I guess then.
Yeah,
So
and if we're traveling somewhere
Mhm,
and a bit
mhm.
of behind the scenes kind of thing.
what do you think works better for you? Instagram stories or the posting?
I think the posting.
Cool.
Yeah. But I love the interaction still through stories with people that quick reply and
What's your ranking from 1 to 5 if you speak social media platforms? Like 1 being the best, like Instagram, Facebook, and 5 being the worst that doesn't perform at all. So 1 to 5, what is your go-to?
like 5 would be Insta and Facebook would be like a 3 and in Twitter would be like a 1. Yeah.
Okay. You mean like, so Twitter being the best?
No, like
being the worst. Okay.
5 out of 5 for Insta.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah, so Instagram is the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone says Instagram is the best platform. So people, Instagram is here.
On Instagram, you said that it is your go-to tool.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on direct messaging?
You're probably an hour a day at least.
Every day?
Yeah, well, it fluctuates from if you post it that day, you tend to get a few people that ask you questions about it, and then you have that interaction.
Do you think it will ever replace emails?
It might. I
Like the
think so.
communication things
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
I
sending
think-
emails to each other, like even brands reaching out to you on Instagram then instead of emails.
Yeah,
Yeah, happening to you?
definitely.
I'm curious about this question. Are you into sports?
No, definitely.
No, okay.
No, we can go to the next one. What motto do you live by?
I used to live by the motto, go big or go home. But now the one I like to follow is to kind of make yourself believe you can achieve things and then just doing it.
I like that.
Yeah, once you believe you can achieve it, you will achieve it.
Tell me, do you make use of lefa?
No.
Why not?
I haven't gotten into it.
Never tried it? Never went like with the bicycle, with your bike somewhere, like, damn, I need to lift home.
No.
Ever. Try it, give it a try. It's very cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Is there any app that you have that you're addicted to? Like, what's your favorite app on your phone, if there is any?
Yes, yeah. Not really. Like, mostly a converter app to convert units, basically. But nothing really from inches to centimeters and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wish to say or ask us at this very moment?
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything, procedure-wise,
Anything.
business-wise, Namibia-wise. He's an excellent journalist. So.
He says.
How do you guys feel about the economy? Do you feel like it's still going to be good for the kind of things you guys are doing?
I honestly think if we Namibians support each other more with each other and invest into each other's companies, not saying invest in it, but you make use of everyone's service. So I'm going to actually make use of Mani's Bike Mecca, and he will make use of my service in social media. We can bring the economy back. But that will not be a thing that's going to happen overnight. It will maybe be a thing of 5 to 10 years, and black and white also working good together. Then we'll bring it back. And then we can go have crazy parties again. No, I'm just saying, but it will come back. That's my opinion about it.
Yeah, no. Eric, this is a serious question you're asking right now. And it has no simple answer. But honestly, I think a lot about Finland. Because in the beginning of the 90s, they had to declare bankruptcy. And the only way they bounced back, and they bounced back tremendously, because they now have the #1 educational system in the world. And they did that with the private sector and the government working together. Not just the government dictating left and right, give us your 2% on the huge amount of tax you already pay.
Yeah.
It's rather going to be I believe, because the economy is shit at the moment, but I believe the best thing to do is when the private sector and government start working together a lot the way he says, also working collaboratively. Big piece of the pie, everybody should get a slice, but actually getting together and talking it out instead of just pointing fingers left and right. You give money now, or we actually find a different way to do it. It's changing the mindset of actually everybody just working together instead of against each other.
And if I'm really honest, I don't think that me or Yaku are the expert in this. We have someone in this building.
Yes.
You should have a conversation with him. I think he would know the best answer.
Yeah, he will blow your mind.
But that we can give you after the sessions. Then the last question that we still have, or second last, is there anyone you would suggest for sessions, for an interesting person that you would say, go feature this one?
Yes, I would need to think a bit about that.
Cool. You can always phone me after the session as well.
Will do.
Eric, you get to ask the question of the day. Anything that's on your mind, anything you want to ask the people out there, and go for it.
Do you guys follow SpaceX, and what are your thoughts about space traveling and civilizing on a different planet like Mars or the moon?
Leave us your comments in the comment section down below, or give Eric a direct message. He will answer that. Yeah,
brilliant
Eric,
question. Though.
Last thing of our sessions here is any last advice that you can give to any of our viewers on how to become a person like you, how to become a signed Redbull athlete. How hard do you have to hustle in life to get where you are?
Take every minute of every day and put 100% effort into it while staying humble and trying to help everyone else. Because we all, at the end of the day, one big family, and never ever discriminate. Like, help each other. It's important. We need each other. Yeah.
Very
Brilliant.
Cool. I think that is the best for the intro.
Yes, I love it.
Eric, thank you so much for being here on Sessions. Thank you so much to having time to take out of your daily schedule to sit quickly with us and talk about this. Yaku, Eric, thank you very much again for joining Sessions.
Thanks for having me.
For all of you guys out there, do have a look down below in the description. Is a link to Eric's social media accounts. Give him a follow, give him a shout out, give him some fire there on Instagram stories. So thanks again, guys. and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Eric.